Hello, welcome to the third part in this series of operators in Python. My name is Kingsley Entron. If you missed our previous tutorial, where we talked about the assignment operators, what are assignment operators, different types of assignment operators, and how assignment operators work in Python. Click on the link below to watch that video. This third part, I'm going to walk you guys through the comparison operators, what are comparison operators, different kinds of comparison operators, and how comparison operators work in Python. I'm going to try my best to make this tutorial as simple as possible. If you have any question or comments, drop it in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's dive into it. What are comparison operators? Comparison operators compare two values and variables and return a Boolean result that is true or false. They are also used in decision making and loops in programming. For example, we have different types of comparison operators, like equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These comparison operators, they are used for comparing and returning a Boolean result as its value. To further explain this, for the equal to operator, let's say we have a variable of x equal to 6 and y equal to 10. Now print x comparison y. Now x holds the value of 6 and y holds the value of 10. On line 3, we are saying is x equal to y? That is, the value x holds, which is 6, is it equal to the value y holds, which is 10? Let's run our code and see that. We have false as our result. The reason for this is because x holds the value of 6 and y holds the value of 10. These are two different values entirely. They are not equal. And that is why we have false as our result. Let's try other examples to understand this better. Let's say we have a variable of num1 equal to 12.5 and num2 equal to 10.5. Print num1 comparison num2. Now num1 holds the value of 12.5 and num2 10.5. We are trying to say is num1, which is 12.5, equal to num2, which is 10.5. Let's run this code and see our results. We have false as our result. The first false is gotten from our previous code. So let's comment that out. So let's run again and see. We have false as our result. And the reason for this is because num1 holds 12.5 and num2 holds 10.5. They are not equal values. Now if I change this to 12.5 and 12.5 and run my code, I get true as my result because both num1 and num2 holds the same or equal value. So the comparison operator compares two values and return a Boolean result, true or false. Now note that this equal to is the comparison operator and this equal to is the assignment operator. These are two different equal to. The first equal to is the comparison operator that compares two values of variable and return a Boolean result. While the second equal to is an assignment operator that assigns a value to a variable. So we should know the difference between these two equal to. Let's comment this out. So this is all for the equal to comparison operator. Let's also comment this out. Now the next one is the not equal to comparison operator. They also compare two values of variable and return a Boolean result, true or false. Not equal to comparison operator is the reverse or the opposite of a comparison equal to operator. Let's see this. Let's say we have a variable of num1 equal to 10, num2 equal to 12. Print num1 not equal to num2. Now, num1 holds 10 as its value and num2 holds 12 as its value. So in line 3, we are trying to say, is num1, which is 10, equal to num2? Can you guess the result? I trust you guessed the result right. The answer is true. Let's run this and see. Don't be confused. Num1 is 10 and num2 is 12. So we are trying to say, is num1 not equal to num2? And the truth is, num1 is not equal to num2. So the result is true. So if I change this to 10, that is num1 10 and num2 10, and run my code, I get false as my result because they are equal, not equal to. So let's try other examples with floats and see. So let's comment this out for better understanding. So let's say num1 equal to 12.6 and num2 equal to 10.6. Print num1 not equal to num2. Now if I run my code, I get true as my result because num1, which is 12.6, and num2, 10.6, holds different value. So let's run this. We have true, they are not equal to. So also, if I change this to 10 and run my code, I get false because they are equal to. So the not equal to comparison operator compares the value if they're not equal to and return true, but return false if they're equal to. So let's comment this out and also go down to our greater than operator. Just like in general mathematics, the greater than is self-explanatory. Now let's say we have a variable of x equals to 6 and y equal to 5. Now let's also say a third variable of z equal to x greater than y. So print z. So x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 5. Now z as a variable holds the computation or the result of x and y. So on the third line, we are trying to print the result z holds. So we are saying x is greater than y. The question is x greater than y? And the answer is true. X is 6 and y is 5. So indeed, x is greater than y. Let's run this and see. We have true as our result. Now, if I change my x to be 4 and y to be 5 and run my code, I get false as my result because x is 4 and y is 5. X is not greater than 5. So let's also run other example. Let's comment this out and try other examples to understand this. Let's say we have a variable of a equal to 22.6 and b equal to 12.9. Print a greater than b. A holds the value of 22.6 and B holds the value of 12.9. So when I print A is greater than B, I get true as my result because A is indeed greater than B. So if I change this to 10.6 and also run my code, I get false because B is greater than A, not A greater than B. So this is how the greater than operator works in Python. Let's comment this out. And our next one is the less than operator. So the less than operator is the reverse or the opposite of the greater than operator. We have a variable of A equal to 7 and B equal to 9. Print A is less than B. A holds the value of 7 and B holds the value of 9. So print A is less than B. So can you guess our result? The result is true because A is indeed less than B. Let's run this and see. We have true on our console. So if I change this to 10 and run my code, I get false as my result. So let's try other example with floats. Let's comment this out and go down to x equal to 10.5 and y equal to 11.7. So print x is less than y. Indeed, x is less than y. So let's run this and see. We have true because x is less than y. Also note, we can also do this like this. We can also say print 7 is less than 8. So this is the value. We are trying to test this on the value itself directly, not assigning the value to a variable and testing the variable. So we are testing the variable directly by saying is 7 less than 8, which is true. If I change my 7 to 10 and I say is 10 less than 8, it's false. So this is how the less than operator works in Python. Let's comment this out. The greater than or equal to operator. This operator returns true if at least one condition is true. That is, if the first value of variable is greater than the second value of variable. Let's illustrate this. Let's say I have a variable of x equal to 16 and y equal to 14. Print x greater than equal to y. Now, x holds the value of 16 and y holds the value of 14. In the third line, we are trying to say, is x greater than or equal to y? This is a two condition. Is x greater than or equal to y? If x is greater than y, it returns true. Or if x is equal to y, it returns true, otherwise false. Let's run this code. We have true as our result. And the reason is because x, which holds the value of 16, is indeed greater than y, which holds the value of 14. If I change this to 10 and run my code, I get false. And the reason is because x holds 10 as its value and y 14 as its value. And in line 3, we are trying to say, is x greater than or equal to y? As you can see, x is not greater than or equal to y, and that is why we have false on our console. Now let's say we have 14 here and run our code. True. Now x holds 14 and y holds 14. And we are trying to say, is x greater than or equal to y? So x is not greater than y, rather x is equal to y, and that is why we have true on our console. So let's try other examples to understand this better. Let me comment this out. I'm pressing Ctrl and dash. Now we have num1 equal to 22.5, num2 equal to 11.5, then num3 equal to num1 greater than or equal to num2, then print num3. Now num1 holds the value of 22.5 and num2 holds the value of 11.5. Num3 holds the computation of num1 and num2, that is, num1 is greater than or equal to num2. So as you can see on our screen, num2 is indeed greater than num1. So if I run my code, I get true as my result. Now if I change this to 11.5 and run my code, I get true because num1 is equal to 11.5, which is not greater than but equal to num2, which is 11.5. And that is why we have true on our console. But if I change this to 10.5, I get false on my console because num1 is 10.5, which is less than or not equal to num2, which is 11.5. So that's it about the greater than or equal to operator in Python. Let me comment this out and go down to the less than or equal to operator. The less than or equal to operator is the reverse of the greater than or equal to operator. It returns true if the first value of variable is less than or equal to the second value of variable. Now let's say we have a variable of x equal to 23 and y is equal to 21. So print x less than or equal to y. X holds the value of 23 and y holds the value of 21. Now we say, is x less than or equal to 1? X is 23 and y is 21. That is, x is not less than or equal to y. So when I run my code, I get false on my console. So if I change this to 20 and run my code, I get true on my console because x is indeed less than y. If I also change this to 21 and run my code, I get true because x is not less than but equal to y. So let me comment this out and try another example with floats. We have a variable of num1 equal to 12.4, num2 equal to 20.5, print num1 is less than or equal to num2. Now when I run my code, I get true on my console because num1 is 12.4 and num2 is 20.5. So num1 is less than num2. That is why we have true on our console. If I change this to 22 and run my code, I get false because num1 is greater than, not less than num2. So if I change this to 20.5, just like I have in my num2, and run my code, I get true on my console because num1 holds the value of 20.5 and num2 20.5. And the condition says, is num1 less than or equal to num2? So num1 is not less than, but equal to num2. And that is why we have true on our console. So that is all about the comparison operator in Python. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learned from it. Drop your comments in the comment section. Like this video, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next one.